Hello and welcome to this video, which is the first from the third section of the P7 unit, and this section, section 3, is about mapping the universe. And this first video is going to deal with finding out how far away is a star, how far to that star. So this whole section is about mapping the universe. So we've equipped ourselves with the tools to look at the universe. We've got telescopes and we know what they do. Now we're going to turn those telescopes up to the sky and try and answer some questions about the structure and the shape of the universe. Now you'll notice here as well that this is 3.1.1 because how far to that star is going to come in 3 or 4 installments. I'm going to try and put them into some bite-sized chunks to answer a few different questions separately, rather than have lots of a few long videos. I'm going to try and do quite a larger number of shorter videos. Alright, so here's something for you to get started on. Here's a question: what is a light year? And I would like you to give a descriptive answer and see if you can give a quantitative answer to get the full mark. So both of those things, please. So see if you can do that.
Answer me.
Struggling. Here's a clue. The speed of light is 3 by 10 to the 8 meters per second. And that is the same as 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I put my comma in the wrong place there. Or, what have we got there? 300 million meters per second. So light travels 300 million meters per second. Okay, right, I'm now going to go through and give a quick description answering the question, what is a light year? A light year is the distance travelled by light in 1 year. A light year. So that's your descriptive answer. Now we're going to try and do a quantitative answer. Well, we know that speed is equal to distance over time. So I'm actually just going to work this out now. So I said in the last slide that the speed of light is 3 by 10 to the 8 meters per second, and so that is equal to whatever this distance is divided by time. Now if we're doing it as a year, what I could do is put in a year as my time here and use that to work out what the distance is. So if I put in 1 year and I have the speed of light and I'm going to work out how far does light travel then in a year, this distance is going to be a light year. That's what we call it. So in order to work this out, so the speed is equal to d divided by time. If I move the time up over here, so it's a divide on this side, and move it up here, it becomes a multiply. So I can do time multiplied by 3 by 10 to the 8 meters per second, and that's equal to the distance. Okay, now what is my time? The time equals 1 year, but I have to do this in seconds because I've got my speed in seconds. I need to make sure I'm using the same unit, so I need to turn 1 year into seconds. So that's a little bit tricky. How many seconds are there in a year? Well, I know there's in 1 year, that's the same as 365 and a quarter days, and I know that in 365 each day has got 24 hours, so in a year that's 365 and a quarter sets of 24 hours, and in an hour I've got 60 minutes, and in each minute there's 60 seconds. So this is how I can work out how many seconds there are in a year. 365 and a quarter days. Each day's got 24 hours, each hour's got 60 minutes, and each minute has got 60 seconds. So 1 year, now I'm going to put that all into my calculator, 365.25 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60 again. That gives me quite a long answer on my calculator. I'll write it down just so that you can follow exactly what I've done. 31557 600 seconds, and I'm going to multiply that by 3 by 10 to the 8 meters per second to the minus 1, and that is going to tell me what my distance is. So in my calculator, I've got 31557 600 multiplied by 3 to the 10 to the 8, and that comes out as an answer of 9 point, it's now, mine is 9.46728. I'm going to put it as 9.5 by 10 to the 15, and that is meters. So what is a light year? The distance travelled by light in 1 year, and that is equal to 9.5 by 10 to the 15 meters. So this is what a light year is. Next question, why bother?
Why bother?
Why do we need to bother using light years? Well, the simple reason is space is enormous. Space is enormous. The distances between stars, this picture here is of a distant galaxy. These distances between stars, this could be 4 or 5 light years. This sort of distance here could be 20, 30, 40 light years. So we're talking billions and billions and billions of kilometers. The scale of the universe is absolutely enormous, and we need to know, well, we need to use larger distances. So we're going to use light years, and we're going to be using some pretty large numbers when we're talking about the universe.
Now it's time for our wrap-up. Let's give it everything we've got. Ready? Begin.
So to wrap up, we're going to quickly have a look at this question again, see if you could answer it again. What is a light year? Give a descriptive and quantitative answer.
Now you try.
And we saw that a light year is a distance. It's the distance travelled by light in a year. Distance by light in 1 year. And it is equal to 9.5 by 10 to the 15 meters. Why do we use it? Because it's going to make our lives simpler later on. Rather than me have to say every time, oh, how far away is it? Oh, well, it's 9.5 by 10 to the 15 meters. I can say, how far away is it? 1 light year.